Hey guys, it's Mysterion here. Hope you are recovering from your hangover, and I hope that you are enjoying 2021 so far. Today, we are going to talk about one of my favourite topics to talk about, which is people that believe that they should not be part of the binary system that we have for gender. In English, that simply means boy or girl. Okay? You're either a boy or a girl. But there are people that believe that they do not or should not be assigned to boy or girl. And this is where non-binary people sit. They believe they sit in the trans category. I disagree with that sentiment, in all honesty. And I disagree with that sentiment because when you're transitioning, you are transitioning from one binary system option to the other binary system option, which simply means you are going from being a man to a woman, or you're going from a woman to a man. That is trans people. Trans people are different to non-binary people. Non-binary people have the belief that they can be outside of the gender spectrum, and that is because it is in the name. Non-binary. That means they are not assigned to either. Okay? It's clear in the name. Non-binary. Okay? I don't mean to be passionate about this one. I have a lot of opinions about this topic. And I just want to preface this by saying I respect trans people. I believe, I wouldn't know off the top of my head, but I've watched videos on it of people transitioning from one gender to the other. I believe that transitioning is a hard thing to deal with, from the procedure to the hormone tablets to the mental strains of it to the judgment from the community. That is hard, and I actually do respect trans people. I think that trans people are fine. They don't bother me. If you are going from one gender to the other, that does not bother me whatsoever. If you want to do that, all the power to you. If you put in the effort, meaning you take whatever tablets you need to take, when you can afford it, you do the surgery, that's fine to me. I would be personally fine with meeting a person who was originally a man, okay, did all the work, right? Did the surgery, did the tablets, whatever, and is now a woman, right? I would be happy using she, her pronouns for a trans person that was a man that became a woman. That, in my opinion, is okay. I am actually very progressive on that, right? I am progressive within reason. That's how I like to see it. And I know that might piss off a lot of leftist people, but that is, in all honesty, the furthest I would go with this topic. In my opinion, there are two genders. You could make the argument that there are three, but that third gender is very minute. Okay? The third gender, in my personal opinion, is people that are born with both. And it makes up something like less than 1% of the entire population, or something ridiculous like that. Something incredibly small. So I would say generally there are two genders. If there are not two genders, there are three, technically. And that is people born with both. They are naturally born with both. They a birth defect born with both. Alright? That's it. That's it. Anyway, we're going to get into this topic now.
We have a 2-year-old antigender baby and a 10-year-old who is non-binary.
A 10-year-old that's non-binary. Alright, so once again, what that simply means is, guess what? I'm 10. I'm not a girl or a boy. That's simply what that means. Now, that's difficult. Now, I don't believe that kids can make that decision. Kids cannot make that decision. Kids are not mature enough to make that decision. I don't even believe at 10 kids can make that decision, okay? Because the moment you make the decision that you're not a boy and you're not a girl, right? And you say to people, I have they, them pronouns, I'll tell you what's going to happen, right? And it sucks, but it's the world we live in. If I had done that at my school, I would get, I would honestly get destroyed with the amount of bullying that I would get in school, right? If I had done that in primary school, if I had done that in high school, the amount of bullying that I would get, and I'll tell you what, I didn't graduate high school that long ago. Alright, I started high school in 2013, I graduated in 2018. Okay? So this is not very long ago. We've not become that much more progressive since then, other than probably gay marriage being legal. We're not that different from then to now, okay? It is too far, in my opinion, outside of the realm of possibility to not be either gender. Alright? It is simply ridiculous. You are one or the other. If you want to transition, that's a different story. But a 10-year-old shouldn't be transitioning either. A 10-year-old can have the belief that they want to transition. That's alright. But if they want to do that, wait till you're an adult. Think about it when you're an adult. If you want to do it, all the power to you. But no, kids should not be non-binary. Alright? They can't do that. It does not make sense. They aren't mature enough. I'll tell you what, as a kid, and I'm sure many kids would have done it, they'd do it as a joke. They wouldn't do it to be serious. They would do it, they would say, oh, I'm non-binary. Just to screw with people. You know, they're not serious about the topic. And, you know, a kid isn't mature enough to make that decision. And it is ridiculous for someone to be non-binary in that it is not in the realm of being a male or a female, which is the two genders we have.
And for their oldest child, Hazel, that's neither male nor female.
Please tell us how and why you decided to come out as non-binary.
Because the pronouns she and he did not fit. Non-binary was what I turned to, though I do choose to act and look more feminine.
How did they not fit? I would like to know how they don't fit. Doesn't make much sense to me. But the kid chooses to act more feminine and look more feminine. Right. So that doesn't make sense then, because I'll tell you what, the problem with this, right? So I'm just going to say it. Hazel looks like a girl, right? If Hazel continues to look like a girl so she's 10 now, so let's say 10 more years, she's 20. If she continues looking like a girl, someone is eventually it's gonna slip. Someone's gonna say her and refer to Hazel. Someone's gonna say she and refer to Hazel. And then Hazel is gonna flip her shit, okay? Because she's going to get offended when someone misgenders her because she believes she is out of the binary system, when she's not. Okay? The problem is that it is not part of our society. You can't integrate it because gender is based on how you look. Gender is based on how you sound. Gender is based on your parts you have down there. Gender is based on some of your internal organs that are associated with a gender, such as a cervix, for example, okay? Or testicles, for example, okay? You can't be outside of that spectrum because the human body literally doesn't allow you to be outside of the spectrum of gender, whether you like it or not. The only way to literally be out of the spectrum of gender is to be no gender. And the only way that can be achieved is through intense surgery. Okay? Intense surgery where you literally have no genitalia whatsoever. And you'd have no breasts. That's the only way that you can get out of the system. And I know that might be hard to hear, but it's not feasible. Okay? It's not feasible. It's sort of, I'll give you an example, right? Let's say I said to people, I'm a doctor. You're gonna refer to me as a doctor, but I'm not a doctor. I'm not actually a doctor, so I've not done medical school. I've not gotten a PhD in anything, right? Let's say I'm just a TAFE student, for example, right? And I've done, I don't know, I'm an electrician, but I don't care. doctor is what you should refer to me as. I am a doctor. No matter what my qualifications are, I am a doctor. Doesn't make much sense, does it? Because I'm not qualified to be a doctor. I have nothing that proves that I'm a doctor. Alright? With gender, there is proof that you are a male or a female. It's in the way you look, it's in the way you sound, it's your body. That's what gender is.
And 2.5-year-old Sparrow has yet to make a choice about their gender.
Sparrow, do you want a banana? They're antigender, but we're using they, them pronouns.
So, another issue I want to say about this is that, as you can see, the three parents, yes, there are three parents in this relationship. It's a polyamorous relationship, which simply means they're all together, all three of them, okay? They are referring, and they meaning plural of them, the three people, not they as in singular, because that's not how they is actually used. They are referring to Sparrow as they and them. And when they do that, they're talking about singular, meaning single person, Sparrow. I hope that doesn't confuse you, okay? Basically, in English, they're using they, them pronouns for Sparrow, okay? And when they do that, they are normalizing it. And the problem with normalizing they, them pronouns is that you are it sounds horrible, but it's true. You're brainwashing them to believe that it is normal for these pronouns to be referring to them. Okay? Because look, from their perspective, they probably believe that using the pronouns they, them shows that non-binary people exist. But the issue with using they, them pronouns on a child is they believe it is normal for that child to have those pronouns. What if the child wants to be a boy or a girl? You're sort of already putting him in the box of being non-binary, because you're not giving them the gender that they may or may not want to be. You're taking them out of the spectrum at birth, essentially. Okay? You're taking them out of the binary system. And when you take them out of the binary system at such a young age, kids will internalize that, and they'll believe that is the belief that they have, and they'll be part of it, because that's what they've been taught. Alright? And that's the issue. When I was a kid, I was referred to as a boy, I was referred to as he and him. And I knew I was a boy. Okay? I knew I was a boy. That helped me believe I was a boy, other than body parts. Okay? That's how I knew I was a boy at a young age. And that's how I knew I would always be a boy. And that I would grow up and be a man, because of those pronouns being part of my life from the start to the end, and now. You can't use they, them pronouns on a child, because it will be normalized in their head, and they will believe they are non-binary from the dot. You're not helping them pick a gender. You are telling them, essentially, indirectly, that they are non-binary. And that is it. I'm going to repeat myself, but if I keep going. But that's why that's a bad idea. Thank you very much for watching. These are my views on this video of non-binary people. And yeah, please like, sub, and share. And comment your thoughts below. Do you agree with me? Do you think that I'm a bigot? What do you think of me? I'm curious. It's an interesting topic, definitely. And yeah, peace.